Here we've got the Alienware Alpha, a tiny little desktop computer in a package roughly the size of a Wii U, maybe even a bit smaller, hooked up to a Samsung Smart TV. It's got the components of a gaming PC that's more powerful than the Xbox One or PS4, but it manages to squeeze it into a very tiny space. It's running Windows 8.1, and the primary function of that is to get here, which is Steam Big Picture Mode. So what it does is, instead of having like a big complex interface, for a desktop app, it just limits it down to your store to buy more games, your library, and then your profile on Steam. And you can also go over to a web browser or check out what your friends are up to and chat with them. But it also makes things simple for looking through your entire library. And the thing with Steam is people often buy huge bundles for very little money during the holidays when they have really big discounts. So I have, for instance, 17 games installed, but 120 total. Not every game plays well on the console controller. So there's a special tab you can go to that shows which games you have that are optimized for play with a controller. For such a tiny box, the Alienware Alpha is actually really powerful. They all have the same graphics card, which is a modified NVIDIA mobile chip that is used across most mid-range gaming laptops, but they've overclocked it a bit so it has higher performance. So for instance, I played through Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim. You can actually, on the PC version, mod it to improve how things look. I downloaded packs that put more grass in the environment, made water look better, made textures and buildings look better, and it handles it like a champ. Alien Isolation only came out about a month and a half ago, and I was able to play it on ultra settings with really great frame rates. As long as you're playing at 1080p, which you probably are if you're hooking it up to your living room television, you can max out most games that have come out in the last couple of years, which is very impressive considering this thing's size. The Alienware Alpha, I think, is the perfect solution for buying into PC gaming. It's about as easy to deal with in terms of setup and dealing with accounts as the Xbox One or PS4. It's more expensive, obviously. I went with a model that's twice the cost of the $400 PlayStation 4 or Xbox. But the graphical fidelity you get out of the overclocked graphics card inside is so great for how much you're paying. Back in the day, I would have had to build myself a tower, or if you're on the Mac side of things, you have to buy a $2,500 iMac Retina or a MacBook Pro in order to get a graphics card that can handle most of these games. But for only $550 to $1,000, you can have a great PC that you just immediately set up in your media center.